My name's Wolfgrim, and my microphone wasn't just muted, but it was. Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. I wasn't late to the stream. I was just eating food, because I forgot to eat. So yeah, I have a few things to talk about today actually. I've actually made a list, because that was kind of a good idea I should have done for the first one. Also, anybody from Equilibrium, feel free to join, jump in and out as well. It's all an open mic today, as always with this stream. It's all nice and cool, you can hear me good. Is the rain, I turned the rain up a bit more, because I couldn't hear it when I went back last time to re-listen. But saying that, it is actually raining outside, so thanks to Storm Alex, which is still slowly making its way across England. But yes, been an interesting week, I think, for most people in the world. I have a few things to talk about. Electric cars, oil prices, very adult conversation. E-bikes, I'm looking into getting an e-bike. I might try and do some more voices, because that was good fun. Scones and tea, that was another little subject. There's been a lot of milestones hit from the Equilibrium gang. I'm looking at getting a webcam or a DLSR. Fallout Miami, it's another subject. And editing and processing in programs that people use to edit are the sort of subjects I'm going to look at today. Again, this is all off the cuff. Make it up as I go along. It's kind of like everything. Hopefully my computer doesn't crash. I'm genuinely concerned it will. It's struggling to run. Well, it seems to run everything fine, but we shall see. Any questions are welcome in the chat. And hello everybody in the chat. We've got Sin, we've got Cam, we've got Biohazard King, who was on last time. Sin was on last time. Yes, I'm late, but worse things can happen. Better late than never. I think I'm just going to start with the first subject, which is electric cars and oil prices. Yes, I'm being an adult, and yes, I'm now repeating myself. So oil is now like £30, $30 a barrel. Yeah, e-cars, electric cars are selling like nut hotcakes, which just seems the wrong way around that should work. But that means hopefully the world is on a better track now. Hopefully it means we're actually making progress in the right direction, rather than just burning dead plants, animals. But yeah, I'm hoping after this year that everybody's going through, that we all come out the other side, that we know, we learn that we are not indestructible. We are not in control of the planet as much as we think we are. We have a big impact on it, but we don't rule the world as much as we think we do. The world rules us at the end of the day. The world can come along and give us something like what's happening. I can't say the word because YouTube will not like it. And yeah, will put us back in our place, as it were. Hopefully everybody's doing okay. But yeah, it's a very weird time. I think this is going to be the norm for the next couple of years, and before we know it, we'll be laughing and joking about it. But yeah, I bought some complete random stuff now. I bought some American snacks today. I asked the guys in EQB what to get, and they were helpful by saying buy everything, as always. But I actually got some cookies and cream bites, moon pie, banana flavour, Kit Kat, Donos. They're mint and dark chocolate flavour. And I can't remember the other one. The other one was some sort of sour apple stick thing. American food. It's weird, but I like it. Haven't been to America for a while. I want to go back to America. It was good fun when I was there. We shall see what happens in the world, and hopefully we can all start going off around the world and enjoying our holidays without all this going on in the world. E-bikes, yeah, I'm looking at getting an electric bike because I don't want to drive, basically. I I don't like driving, hate it. I don't trust people on the road because I've seen how people drive, and it just terrifies me that people drive around in these things that are like 2-3 tons of steel and aluminium, and they use their phones. This is turning into a moan, this is. Just realised. But hey, this is the whole point of this. This is chilling out in the coffee shop. So, but yeah, driving the car is why I like Teslas personally, because they can drive themselves to a point. The law, as far as, again, airing citation needed. The law, okay, my chat hadn't updated and now it has. The rain is fantastic, thank you. They look cool, e-bikes, yeah. But I've noticed, where I live, the local police are cracking down on it because there's a few that aren't actually legal. Biohazard, yeah, I was looking at some e-bikes and cars. Really wanted to look into Tesla. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I heard that a brand new Tesla is cheaper than a second-hand Tesla, which has got me thinking that doesn't sound right or economically viable. But that might just be because the older Teslas are, for lack of a better word, crap compared to the new ones. I'm glad I'm not the only person that doesn't like driving. Yeah, if you don't live in... I like to live in the city. I currently live in a city. I wouldn't call it a city, but apparently this is a city. Yeah, they are expensive, but they did announce that he's going to be lowering the cost to, I want to say, $30,000, I think it was. This is all things off the top of my head. I think it was $30,000 he was aiming at. But I don't think electric cars will become common until someone like Ford, like at least in England, there's a car called the Ford Ka, and it's a basic car. It's a good little car that a lot of people start with. Until an electric one of those comes out, or an electric van, which do exist, until they're on the market, I don't think it will be common. Because if a builder can't break it, no one can. I mean, if you look at a builder's van, they are absolutely beaten and thrown to hell. And if it can survive that, it can survive anything. I think those are going to be the turning points. Yeah, it's the cost of cars is like, so normally, like, this is a very general thing. This is only from my experiences looking at house prices and stuff like that. If you live in a city, you're going to pay big money for a house. But then if you live in the rural, you're going to pay big money for a car and maintenance and stuff. So like, it's a trade-off. Do you want to spend your time or your money for convenience? Because if you spend your time, you're going to be commuting a long way all the time. And I used to commute quite a way every day, and I hated it. Hello, little Welshie. Again, Equilibrium guys, you're welcome to join in the chat. If you've got a subject you'd like to talk about, feel free to join in. Yeah, like if you live in the city, you're paying for a more expensive location, but you probably don't need a car, depending on the city. But if you live in the sticks, then you're going to need a car. But then your house will be cheaper, but the money you save in your house, you're going to spend on the car. It swings and roundabouts, but at the moment it's a weird old world that a lot of people, again, this is just what's happening in England that I'm seeing, is they're moving out of the cities and they are buying the houses in the rural area. So, and I think it's just weird because it used to be like, everyone was moving into cities and now everyone's moving out. I think it's one of these statistics year on year, the number of people moving into cities keeps increasing. I can't think what years it was. It's going to be something like 17 or 1800s when everyone started moving into cities. And they were moving from rural to cities because there was more money in the cities, but living standards were lower. But yeah, it's the world is changing, as if anybody who watches the news for 5 minutes will tell you. Also, anybody who, like, I'm guilty of this. I heard this phrase on another podcast, and it's a phrase I'm starting to repeat because it is very true. I think it's called death scrolling, where you will sit on Twitter, the news, Instagram, anything where you can just scroll endlessly, and you just keep scrolling, and you just keep seeing more and more negativity and more things going on in the world, because bad news sells. Good news doesn't sell quite as well. It's more, think of it as YouTube thumbnails. It's all clickbait. The bigger the clickbait, the more interesting. Hence the big news this week, what happened in America. Instantly everybody's newspapers are saying the same thing. Yeah, it's a weird old world right now. But yeah, I can say that as many times as I like. It's not going to change it at all. Scones. So for context, this went into the meme chat in the Discord I'm in, and it was a meme of basically, is it jam first on a scone, or is it cream first? And it sort of lit a match of a massive, what's the word I'm looking for? Not powder keg. Is it powder keg? Basically, everybody had a friendly disagreement over which way it should be, and then the people across the pond in the group didn't quite know what it was and were very confused. And I get that, because I get confused by some of the American stuff. But that's quite interesting. I'm curious to see what people actually think is the right way around. Little else, it's jam, then cream. I don't know. What if you did it halfway across? So like one side's jam and one side's cream. Would that not just solve all the problems? Or were the scones in two halves? It's cream. That I've already started an argument in the live chats. Don't fight, because I know how that's going to end. It'll just go on and on and on. Oh no, it's already started. But yes, scones. I think it's one of these things where it doesn't actually matter. It's just become a funny argument for people to have, and everybody just has fun with it. It's yeah. Oh no, they're agreeing. Okay. I'm going through these subjects very, very quickly, and that's worrying because I haven't got many subjects. Yes, there's been a lot of milestones crossed in the Equilibrium guys. Off the top of my head, I'm just trying to find the links now quickly, while I'm panicking to find the links. I know Alex passed a milestone, Sin passed a milestone, and I believe there were some others. Give me a second while I set up my very unprofessional setup. You're going to hear me for a second? Nope, got it. Because the links are in here that I need to go through. So, let's have a look. Biohazard King, also all the links to these will be in the description. Biohazard King hit 400 subscribers. Sin, I believe, hit 300. If I'm correct. I can't see chat at the moment, by the way. 200, sorry. Sin hit 200 subs on YouTube. Where is Ash? I'm going to go through everybody now. Ash is currently sitting at 190. So if 10 of you could go and subscribe to him, please do. He does some amazing voices. If you heard last week's coffee shop, that was good fun. Tina. Let's have a look, see where Tina's at. Tina is at 267 subscribers right now. She does a lot of live streaming. Who's next? Little Welshie. Little Welshie currently has 231. Who we got next? Hento. I can never say this username. I'm so sorry. Hento. I'm going to kill myself. Hento. It's in the description. You'll see it. 21 subscribers. Will someone please get them up to 50 at least, please? Come on now. Where else have we got? Alex. Again, does a lot of live streaming. 219. Cam, who is only Twitch, I believe. Cam, you can correct me if I'm wrong, because I believe you're not. Hanit, thank you. Problem is I can't read, so that doesn't really help me. That was in the chat. Cam is on 104 followers on Twitch. Again, I believe that was this week. But I don't think... Cam, you don't have a YouTube channel. Yeah, you're in the chat now. I'm so sorry. Feel free to send an angry tweet to me. Where did I get to? I got to Cam. I'm at Wise Old Raph. He is at 223 subscribers. You guys are ploughing through those milestones a lot quicker than I ever did. It's taking me a long time to get where I am now. 148 on Headshot All Day. We're getting there. Harry. Well, Harry, I don't know if I can say this. He deleted his channel, I believe. He has 1 subscriber now, but I believe he's more of a live streamer than anything else. We have CJ. He's the last one on the list at 132. Now, CJ is the person who actually introduced me to the Equilibrium guys, so yes. Very important person. So yeah, everybody's ploughing through those milestones. And if I actually bring up the data on my YouTube channel, then I look back. The time it took me to get to the milestones that these guys have gotten to, where am I looking? Detailed statistics. The time it took these guys to get to where they are has taken me years, and they are flying through them. I mean, if I go back to when I first started... Oh no, it doesn't go back that far. So, hang on. I'm terrible at this. This is very professional. Total subscribers, here we go. So I started in January 2017. The channel was around for was officially made in 2016. I need to move this tab. I am so sorry, people. I am completely annoying chat for a second. Sorry, I pronounced your name wrong. Yeah, so 2017 the channel started uploading. According to the data, in October 2017 I had 12 subscribers, and I didn't get to over 100 until March 2018. So over a year to get to 100 subscribers. And these guys are doing it in, like, some of them are doing it in like 6 months, and I'm being left in the dust. So I'm going to make a prediction here that you guys are going to surpass me either before the end of this year or mid-July next year. Hey Chris, we got Biohazard King in the chat now. Can I hear him? Can you guys hear him?
What's up, what's up, what's up?
Hey, he's there. We're here, buddy.
I'm here. I heard you talking about milestones, so I was like, alright, now's a good time for me to...
As you just passed one, didn't you?
Yeah, I passed 2 this week. I passed 400 subs on YouTube and then 50 paid subs on Twitch.
Oh, I didn't know about the Twitch one.
Yeah.
That's good news.
Yeah, I have to thank everybody that has already subbed, even EQB. Like, if it wasn't for them, I would seriously not be where I'm at now. You know, with especially with the paid subs, Sin and my friend Kristen, or our friend Kristen at this point. They went a little crazy.
a little crazy. I caught anybody who's listening post, go and check out some of the old streams that Chris and that have done. It gets a little mad, shall I say? I think is the phrase I want to use.
That's the nice way to put it.
That's the nice. Okay, I won't put words in your mouth, but yeah, yeah.
Let's just say there was some strongly worded DMs after that stream.
I was generally getting concerned.
I only cried on stream. That's all good.
There's nothing wrong with that, buddy. There's nothing wrong with that. When I did the video about beginning of this year, I did a video where you see me talking directly to the camera. I was struggling to hold back tears there because I was very serious about what I was saying.
Yeah.
And people weren't taking it seriously.
And we were, I heard you before I jumped on talking about how the growth between all the channels, and you were talking about how your growth was slower compared to ours. Didn't you take a big break though?
But it was only a recent break, so it would have been actually the calendar's here. The 8th of yeah, 8th of February I restarted, as it were, and before that it would have been about, I want to say from September the year before, so September 2019 I had to stop. Not out of choice.
Yeah, personal stuff. You
Yeah.
don't want to go into it, but
Um,
and then what was your? See, I will say if it wasn't for this group yet, like I know we always harp on the group or whatever, we always big it up or whatever, but like if it wasn't for this group, I wouldn't have gotten to where I'm at as fast as I did.
No.
We were as most people know, we were in a group, or at least most of us were in a group before this one started, like before the inception of the Discord started, and that was meant to kind of do the same thing, except for there was a dictator leader kind of thing, and that group brought more eyes to all of our channels at the time too. But that's just goes with networking, you know what I mean, between content creators. There's a toxic thing going on. If you don't mind me ranting for a second.
This is the whole point of this. It's the equivalent. You know what this is like, and anybody who listening to this is new. This is basically, we are sitting in a coffee shop having a cup of tea or coffee or whatever it is your drink of choice, but virtually, because we can't do it in person. So go ahead. We're all just rambling on about guff, for lack of a better term. So go ahead.
When I started, because I started. My first upload was December 28th of last year, so you could technically say I started in January, you know, of this year. And I was committed to daily uploads. I uploaded every day for like, I want to say until July almost, something like that. And then I will say the most toxic thing about a small content creator is the fact that the sub for sub community is out there.
Yeah.
As a small content creator, you fall into that trap because you want to see your channel grow, and I think all of us, or at least most of us, fell into that trap early on.
Yeah, and I can see why, and I think I'm guilty of doing it myself. I can see why you do it, because you're like, especially like, let's just say you're under 100 subs or 100, whatever the format is you're using, 100, it's how do I explain this?
It's enticing.
Yes, it's like someone dangling a carrot in front of you. If that one more sub that gets you from say 50 to 51 to 52, that is very enticing, and I fully get that, and I am fully guilty of that myself. So I think that's
what I honestly think a lot of us are guilty of, is we fell prey to that. We're seeing our channel grow, but I know Sin and I specifically, there's a YouTuber that follows both of us that fell into that trap. He's over 1,000 subs, but when you look at his views, he's only got like 4 views per video.
So yeah, there's I don't know if anybody here watches there's a YouTube make their own little like insiders, I think it's called.
Yeah,
Creator Insider. Yeah, that's it. They did a video, and one of the questions at the end, as a sort of quiz, was how can you tell how interactive the audience is with a channel if you don't have access to analytics? And it was, you take their subscriber number and you compare it to a random collection of videos. So say they've got 1 million subs, just to make the numbers easy for a minute, because my maths is terrible, but they're only getting 100 views a video. That instantly tells you those 1 million subs aren't interacting with that content.
Yeah.
So those
go on.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just going to finish your statement first.
Those 1,000,000 subs are worthless at that point.
Yeah.
And
granted, as a content creator, you don't ever want to say the line "a sub is worthless," because every sub still matters.
Yes.
But I get where you're coming from. Is a dead sub means really nothing to your channel. If they're like, yeah, I'll subscribe to you, but then they're not watching, YouTube's just gonna filter them out anyway. After a few months, they're gonna go, well, you're not interacting with this channel, and they're gonna auto unsub you, because that's how the YouTube algorithm's been working lately.
The whole, like, you see people, I remember seeing this, and I've completely tuned out of it now, so it may have all changed, but I remember seeing things on Twitter and stuff of, this is what the algorithm's now doing, this is what the algorithm's doing. It's like, I've learnt this lesson, I'm still guilty of doing it. just do what you enjoy. And there is, I can't remember how many users there are on YouTube, but there is an audience out there. And I remember a few years ago when YouTube was at its height, it kind of still is, I think YouTube's just ticking along now, that everyone was going, is it too late to make a channel? And my instant reaction to that is, whenever someone says to me, is it too late to, regardless of the subject, or whatever it is, whether they want to go university, make a channel, build a car, I don't know, pick the subject, it's never too late. Never.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So yeah, go on.
I was going to say, people ask me all the time, should I start, if I should start, whatever. I'm like, do it. Like,
Do it.
The worst case scenario at the end of the day is that you don't enjoy doing it. It's funny that we bring this up because I've literally had this conversation with half of your chat right now, saying, like, they're like, oh, I don't know, what if I don't like it? This, I'm like, just do it.
Just do it. Go.
At the end of the day, if you don't like it, don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
It's honestly, it's quite simple because this can be hard, and it's not as hard as people realize it is at first. And so I'm like, if you don't like it, if your passion is not there, people can tell.
So I think when you say something is hard, it's how do I? It's hard to explain things without being rude.
Okay, so when I say this is hard, sitting down to play a video game is not hard. Sitting down and recording yourself playing a video game is not hard. Editing itself is not hard, right? In general terms. So like, if you take that and combine them all together and try to stick to a schedule, and you have to factor in, so say with YouTube, you need to reply to your comments, especially as a small creator, you need to be in your comments replying to as many as you can when you have the time, stuff like that. And people don't realize, like, especially coming from the streaming side, this is a really big weigh on your mental health too, that people don't realize, because you get stressed out about, oh, am I meeting my deadline? Am I meeting this, that, the other? Like, it's really hard, and people just do not realize how hard this can be.
Sin has joined us in the Discord. You right, Sin?
Oh, hello.
You're a bit quiet, I think. Right, yeah. It might be my end because I've changed a few things.
No, he's quiet on my end too.
Okay.
It's because I'm not yelling, isn't it?
You're not allowed to yell or swear.
I thought this is the one time of the week I'm actually composed, so
That's fine.
thought I'd talk like an adult for a change.
Wait, you're an adult?
Yeah, on paper.
On paper.
I'm doing lots of adulty things today. Not that kind of adulty things, but now I've been moving furniture and took a chunk out of my hand with a pair of
Ooh.
scissors. Fun? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
sounds delicious.
Yeah, but now we just moving furniture, that sort of adulty sort of thing, decorating.
Good old
IKEA
bit.
things. Yeah.
Oh, I do like IKEA stuff.
I like IKEA meatballs.
I don't like the food. Well, I've never had it. I don't trust the food, sorry. This is what I should say. That's just me.
The meatballs are good, man. I recommend the meatballs.
I'm there to buy furniture. I'm not there to eat, if I'm honest. It's a functional building for me. It's not a social building.
Yeah, that'd be like getting a jack potato at DFS, wouldn't it? It doesn't sound right, does it?
Don't give them ideas. Because it'll just be a sale after sale after sale.
Yeah.
It's just...
Wow.
But
Yeah, sorry to just hijack and start talking about food straight off.
this is the whole point of
That
this.
Literally the EQB way. We always hijack streams and talk about food. So.
And I've given you an opportunity to do it. So feel free to.
Well, I appreciate it, thank you.
Just going back to Chris's thing about YouTube and it being hard, is there was I don't know if anybody here or in the chat knows RT Gaming. He recently put out a video of him, and his channel was recently exploded in the last 2 years. And he actually put out one that would he was talking about brain's gone blank. He was talking about like the pressure of YouTube and the stress of it and the anxiety and the rest of it. And I don't want to say this, but people were saying, and I quote, "I don't want to see your face because it spoils the effect." end quote. Which is not encouraging. But you're going to get that on the web, unfortunately. But I will say one thing. He made a good point of you shouldn't get the expectation of your channel will grow forever. Like I'm talking when you're up in the millions of subs marks, not where we currently are. When you're up in like 1 to 10 million subs, I think at that point, just do what you enjoy, and it will grow on its own. I think it's easy to slip into the case of I've got to keep growing. I've got to keep making this specific number bigger.
It's a seduction of numbers.
Yes.
That's what it is. I mean, and when, certainly for me, when it gets to the stage that the total of the numbers means more to how you feel about it, you're doing it for the wrong reasons.
I mean, there's some channels that their goal from day one is to make money, and that's fine. Because some of those channels will make things like tech videos, and they will get sponsored by companies to show off tech, and that's fine. That's a business model that you can do if you want.
Yeah.
I think it's like anything. You can do it for the passion, or you can do it for the money. Like there's some people go and do, I don't want to use the word crap, but I can't think of a better word, crap jobs because they enjoy it, not because the money's good.
Yeah, like teaching.
Teachers.
Didn't Einstein work at the patent office? Wasn't it? It was something mundane.
Someone did, yeah.
Something like that, because whereby that man was an absolute genius in his particular field. The fact he could, go and do something mundane allowed him the kind of brain space to then, obviously, theorise relativity, I guess. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. To quote you, citation needed here.
I say that because it's my get out clause. If I'm wrong, you can't go, you said so and so. It's like I'm no expert on these things. I'm no expert on anything.
It's your catchphrase now. It's very, very much your catchphrase now.
Okay.
In fact, there'll be t-shirts with citation needed on it.
The problem is that's actually the name of the podcast and a game. So
is it?
yes,
And?
Tom
What's your
Scott.
point?
Tom
What's
Scott
your
is
point?
very and
What's your point?
I've had problems with copyright already. I don't need any more.
What? Did you get claimed or did you get striked?
I'm not going into it. If I'm honest.
Oh, I can go into mine.
You can go into yours if you want. You're feel free to.
I have 2 claims currently on my channel. And one is I used the stream highlight and that meme song Epic Sax, whatever.
Oh, the classic, yeah. Don't, because I'll get
I
claimed.
wasn't gonna go any further, but yeah, that I got claimed. It was 5 seconds, and I got claimed for it, and my video was blocked in Denmark only. And I said, because I was like, oh, it got claimed. What did it get claimed by? I clicked on it. It said that, and I was like, well, I figured that might get hit or whatever. That's no big deal. It's a stream highlight anyway. And yeah, that got flagged. But it literally, I looked into analytics through the claim, and it said it was only in Denmark. It was not blocked or unmonetized anywhere else except Denmark. And I was like, okay. So this is going to sound kind of, I guess, a little rude. I looked into my analytics. I get 0 views from Denmark.
There's a reason it's blocked there.
I said, okay. Well, then the second one was, the musician Travis Scott. He's like a rapper or whatever. Fortnite did a collab with Travis Scott. I said, okay, well, I'm going to record this, upload it to YouTube. Where I was playing the game, I did like highlights of the match or whatever, and then I uploaded that, and it had the music in it. And for 4 months, it sat fine. The other day, I looked at my claims, and it was on my claims. The entire video was claimed. Only in Denmark. Again, why only Denmark and not, total world?
I'm going to assume it's something to do with like copyright law, because copyright law is different in most of the world.
Oh yeah, for sure. But the thing that flagged me was it was by the claim was through his record label, and I was like, because it was a video when I uploaded, I was like, this is probably gonna get claimed because all of his music's in. That's fine. A claim versus a strike. A claim literally doesn't hurt your channel, just hurts that video, which is again fine. A strike is what hurts your channel, and So I was just like, okay, one video claim's not going to hurt my channel in the long run. You know what I mean? So especially because I knew it would get claimed, but it didn't get claimed, immediately like I thought, or within the first month. It was 4 months later it got claimed.
Mm.
And so that's why I thought it was weird. But then it was in Denmark, which I think was even weirder, was the fact that it was Denmark and not his, group here. You know what I mean? So
I think you just don't like Denmark.
I'm like, okay, well, Denmark needs my money so bad. Let me give them the 1 penny that I could have made off this video. You know what I mean? I'm not monetized.
Along those same lines is the Saboteur, as any of you guys have played it, has an amazing soundtrack. But
Yeah.
the last video I did, I let the music play. Because I was like, I've not had the music the whole way through because I was worried it would get claimed. So I risked it on the last one I want to have a nice little finale. The music kicked in and I was like, I'm just going to let this roll because it's beautiful music. And it all got claimed, all of it.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm sorry, but you agreed for this music to be in your game. I've gone and played your game, and I've linked that this is the game. Like in YouTube, it says what game have you played, and I've put that in. Now, surely YouTube will, again, someone who knows copyright law can check all this, but surely that means that falls under the games company's copyright, not music copyright. But it's just this goes down a whole route of law does not reflect the real world in my mind.
Correct.
A good example, I'm really going off a weird tangent now, but a good example was there was this was a few years ago now. There was a gentleman on a motorbike and he was doing something ludicrous, like 120 or whatever it was. He got caught by a speed camera. Cam made the good point, the game has license to use it, but I don't. That's very good. That makes sense now.
That's correct.
Yeah, she's saying she had a lot issue with Life is Strange. Yay. But yeah, the guy was doing like 120, got caught by a speed camera. He went to court. The picture of him on the bike, well, he wasn't on the bike. He was midway through having a crash, and the bike was like 5 to 10 feet in front of him. And it went to court, and they said, well, legally, you're not on the bike. But the camera says you're doing 100 and whatever it was. From a legal standpoint, he wasn't speeding, because he wasn't on the bike.
What kind of...
But
That's
You-
insane.
But you know he was doing 120 because he had to at least do 120 to be caught doing 100. It's just there needs to be a common sense clause in everything. But
Yeah,
it's just-
Going back to the copywriting on
Mm.
YouTube, that there is no common. I don't find there's any common sense. I mean, I'd like to cite a example for me. I uploaded a video which contained the ending of Far Cry 5. I think throughout that it's because it's all really weird fundamentalist stuff going on, and I think it's Ave Maria or whatever it was, or Amazing Grace. That's what it was. That plays in the background, and I actually chose to basically just have that whole section just cropped out completely. And what I didn't understand was I was talking, a friend who I was playing co-op with was talking over the time because we were doing our usual thing of saying, when Joseph C's talking, we're going, I've got my gun pointed at his, trained at his face, sort of thing. This was overlaying the music in the background, and this is the end sequence. And I thought that's a bit weird, but I've looked, and so many people have done playthroughs showing the full ending with that same song in it, but they're not talking over it, yet have not been copyrighted. And that's what I don't understand. And the reason I say it's not been copyrighted, because I've had to sit through a flipping advert in that particular video. So I know they haven't been copyrighted because they're monetizing. So I personally don't monetize. I just found it a bit bizarre that I've been kind of pulled up on this, and yet other people haven't. So it got to this whole, you got to be consistent with your rules. If you're going to apply such legislation on it, well, surely that should apply to everyone. You can't just randomly pick and choose. That's what I don't quite seem to comprehend. That's all.
So here's the way YouTube works. You don't make them money.
no, let's be honest about this.
Alright, so as bad as that sounds, we all know YouTube's trying to be a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
So where somebody like, I think this was a big thing that happened a while back with Markiplier, and there was another content creator. They were doing like a try not to laugh challenge.
Yeah, I think I know about
And
this.
yeah, it was recent. The content creator, I'm sorry that I don't know his name. He uploaded a video, and it was like people dressed as cartoon characters pretending to beat up another person,
Mm-hmm.
and it got flagged for violence, and he got demonetized for it. Markiplier didn't, and the guy said, he's like, not to throw Mark under the bus. Why did I get claimed for this when Mark had a video 2 or 3 years ago
Mhm.
featuring the same clip, and he was never demonetized, or he was never claimed for it?
Yeah.
And Mark reached out and said, yeah, YouTube, why is there a double standard?
Yep.
So then Mark got claimed for it, and then Mark said, are you really this is really the bed you're gonna lie in, at the fact that this video's
Mhm.
been up for 2 years, and now you're gonna say it because somebody else said something?
And he's not a small
And-
creator either.
No, it wasn't.
I can understand it's like some small creator. It's going to be hard to find everyone,
Yeah.
but he's up in like the 10%.
Yeah, he's over 20 million. So I think at that time he was even like 18 million, even higher. So it's like, you didn't claim him, but you claimed the smaller creator. Why? And YouTube reversed it, saying that it was a comedy bit, not an actual violence. So they reversed it, but it was only until that larger creator stood up and said, why is there a double standard? And then they reversed it.
I think just to bring us up to speed on chat, the bike was taken from Ride. Yes, very true. The law doesn't care about justice. What else is there?
Not wrong.
Yeah, Cam makes a good point. Ads will still show on videos, but you just don't make the money from them.
Yeah, the money goes to them.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to interrupt you, Chris, when I read that. So.
Oh no, I just happened to look down and see.
I'm just trying to keep the chat in the loop, as it were. I think the problem is, like, if you said to someone, if you say YouTube didn't exist for a minute, and the concept of YouTube didn't exist at all, and you said to someone, look, I need you to build me a system on the computer that can handle, I think it's something like, 50 hours of video uploaded every minute now, or something ridiculous, and I need you to monitor everything that goes up and make sure that these rules, and the list of rules of like nothing, not this, not that, not all the things that are bad in the world, as it were, does not go up. I mean, logistic-wise, I can see their problem, but I think they just don't help themselves sometimes, because there has to be. I'm not sure where I'm going with this, but I think it's a case of. Yeah, I don't know where I'm going with this, but it's just like the logistics of solving that problem are huge. But
Yeah.
the thing YouTube doesn't seem to do is they won't go, look guys, we mucked up, we're going to try better. If that's all they did is went, look, we mucked up, we're going to try better, then I think
Yeah.
people would be happier, because it's like, okay, YouTube has acknowledged this is a problem, they're going to try and fix it. Even if they didn't fix it, at least they've acknowledged there is an issue, not just gone, we're not commenting on it.
Well, it's the same. It's kind of the same with the algorithm thing too, because you can ask them. I mean, they'll never fully reveal what the algorithm is, but if you go, what was the change that was made, or what, because you obviously added rules, and people keep getting flagged. Like there's a current thing going on now where people are getting flagged in titles or thumbnails, or even within the first 5 minutes of a video, of a bad word that was never there to begin with.
Cam makes a good point. Say they allow music. If it was in gameplay, someone would want to exploit it, and that upload song could just have a song and play the game with gameplay on it. Yeah, it's basically people are exploiting the loopholes, and because I'm sure most people have experienced this, because you're behind a screen and behind a keyboard, your interaction with people is a lot different. It seems to be like people are willing to say what they think because you're not standing in front of them, looking them in the eye and having that conversation.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people won't, like, let's just use politics for a minute. Some people won't go in the street holding the flag of the political party they like, but they'll go to Twitter and tweet about it.
Yeah, that is
So I think that plays a lot of it. And yeah, I think Cam is right there, that people will just exploit it, and YouTube just has to go, right, fine then, we'll just draw the line across the sand and no one can cross it. The problem is they let people cross the line.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
That is a good point, in a sense of it's almost a double standard, even though that is apparent across the entire platform. If you allow somebody to upload a song and you flag that, but the song's in a gameplay, if you allow the gameplay to be played with that song, it's still, you know, a double standard, because you took down the one that's a actual rip of the song, but you didn't take down the song from a gameplay's perspective. So I get where they're coming from, right? But at the same time, it's like, you're looking at it going, you can look at a video in context, right? And that's where the human review aspect comes into play.
Yeah,
on YouTube, because you can go, hey, can a human review this? And a lot of times it's automated anyway, of them going, no, that's still wrong, or whatever.
And that's a financial problem, because to pay that many people to monitor that much stuff, like money-wise, it just doesn't work, because you couldn't have enough people.
Well, so they have a thing where you can send it to them, right? And get them to review it. Obviously, now with the situation in the world, it's going to be a lot slower than it was before. But it's still, like, I think what needs to happen is they go, all right, you can take the context of the video. If it's somebody that's just uploading the 3-minute song or whatever, okay, that's obviously them trying to monetize that song. But if it's a 30-minute gameplay and there just so happens to be a 3-minute song in there, then maybe there could be a little leeway, or maybe they could write into your agreement once you're monetized, hey, if there's copywritten music, they're going to take a cut, or, you know, something like everything's out of the hands of the creator. And I think that's what the worst part of a lot of this is you could do something, YouTube goes, no, that's wrong, and you go, okay, why is it wrong? And then it won't get back to you on it. And I think that's kind of where the line needs to be drawn of, give us, if a video gets taken down, give me a reason why it was taken down. A lot of times they won't do that. The video's the only thing that gets hit is if a video is copyright claimed. You can click on it and see, all right, why did this get copyright claimed? And usually they have like a hyperlink and who did it and whatnot. But another example is, like, I got copyright claimed over a phone call. Does that make any sense at all? So I played Resident Evil 2, the remake. I think I might have mentioned this to Sin before. There is a scene where, when you're playing as Claire, a phone rings and you pick it up. There's not a spoiler, at least I hope not. But you pick up the phone, and that 10 seconds of the phone ringing got claimed in my video.
What, the ringtone, as it were?
And it was a generic phone ringtone.
Can someone genuinely claim copyright that they were the composer of a phone ring?
See, this is something I've seen. Is someone made, I may have mentioned this last week, I can't remember. They made 2 YouTube accounts, right? So they're normal, whatever they were uploading, but then they used the other one to claim on their own channel. The idea being, if they claim from their own channel, no one else can claim it, so they get all the money. So
That's genius, actually.
It's genius, but I think YouTube would come down on you like a ton of bricks if you did it, and they found out, because they would just be like, no, both channels deleted, gone.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. It's just like that same video. Okay, so the to follow up with it, that same video, I went in through YouTube's own editor, because they say you can take it out or you can fight it.
Right? I'll give them that. They let you correct your mistake, as it were. I will give them that. That is a good tool.
So I went in and I was like, okay, what got claimed? It was 10 seconds or 5 or 10 seconds of audio, and it was the phone call, is her saying hello, and then the scene cuts, and I was like, okay, that's kind of weird that got claimed. So I was like, oh, whatever, I'll trim it, because the setup right before that is her in like a little area, and you see that like she looks over at the phone and it starts ringing, kind of thing. So the setup, okay, the setup's still there. So I was like, oh, this phone ringing is not gonna. There's literally no dialogue. So I clicked it out. An hour later, I got claimed again on the same video for a scene where the camera pans into a room, and that's all it did. The camera panned from outside to the inside, from through the window, to look at another character that's in the game, and I got claimed for that.
So that was claimed for the footage rather than the audio.
Yeah, and I said, well, this still doesn't detract from the game. Goodbye. But it was from the same copyright claim, and they stated in the claim that it was Capcom. And when I backtracked it, it was not actually Capcom that was claiming it.
See, the other thing is I have seen there was a guy who was uploading 1940s, I think it was train footage. It was just generally interesting to see like the train back in the day. And he put a video up saying that all my stuff's getting claimed. And he was like, surely it's out of copyright by now. Turns out, no. Someone still owns that copyright, and they claimed everything off his channel. And it's just, and the thing is, 1940, or it was 19 something. It was old, black and white footage. And he was saying the person claiming it was like some random company never heard of, and he managed to get in contact with this company, and they were said, yeah, we are claiming on behalf of some other company, and he traced it through that one, and they are claiming on behalf. It's like he went through 4 different companies to get back to the original people who made it, which was, I think, which was the BBC, I think, at the time. And it's like just yeah, it's the whole legal thing again. It's just, I think, like, in my personal thing on copyright is, if you want to copy something I've made, go for it.
Yeah, more fool you kind of attitude.
Yeah, because we're in the world now where, like, let's just say, if someone copyrighted a vaccine, do you seriously think anybody's going to pay attention to that? No. Because there's the real world, where we all live, and then there's law. And, yeah, I have problems with that. This is such a dirty road to go down. Yeah.
I mean, it's your channel, so
oh yeah, it's just
you follow the direction that you want to go to.
It's just me ranting at this point. Let me have a look at my list of things I was going to talk about.
Yeah, you have a list.
I have a list. I had electric cars and oil prices, e-bikes, scones. Scones? Is it scones?
Scones. The joke doesn't work.
No. Lots of milestones hit. Sin, you were one, weren't you? Was it 200? He's muted himself. Moving on.
Sorry, I can hear a child crying in the background.
If you need to go and deal with that, go and deal with it, buddy, because life comes first.
Yeah, he to confirm, yeah, he passed 200 subs on YouTube last week.
Fallout Miami. Now, I come across...
I've got it.
Cool. Fallout Miami. I come across a mod for Fallout that makes you a Fallout Miami game.
This has piqued my interest. Go on.
Yes. I literally found it last night and I was like, what is this? And I thought it was a genuine game release. It was that well done. Turns out it's a mod. If you literally go...
Fallout 4?
I think it's Fallout... Ooh, I don't know which one it's for now.
You better let him know. He's going to look it up right now and download it. So
I'm looking it up. There is a website called Fallout Miami, and it is for... I don't know. Hang on.
Yeah.
Fallout 4. Yeah, Fallout 4 it's for. You're not a fan of Fallout 4?
No, I said boom.
Oh.
Fallout 4 is my favourite games, like, ever.
So I jumped into Fallout New Vegas. And I watched one video on it. It was like, I want to play this game. Jumped into it. Yeah, I never knew about it. Jumped in and played it. Absolutely loved it. And it's the same with Skyrim. I watched one video on it. It's like, what is this game? How have I never heard of it? And jumped in and loved it.
I'm a bit of a Bethesda fanboy, so...
Well, I didn't know...
If you for those that aren't aware, if you have Game Pass on Xbox, it's free right now.
Yeah. There's been a lot of free games being given out by companies, I've noticed.
Well, with the fact that Microsoft bought out Bethesda.
Oh, how is that
I-
not on
I-
my list?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a big
How,
one.
how are you? How are
I
you a
was
gaming
wrong.
channel?
Yeah. I was very much swung by that because I was all PS5 versus
Do you
new
reckon?
Xbox, and I just didn't know. I kind of stuck down the Xbox side, for my sins. As a result, I just I can't play with lots of the PS4 members of EQB, which really sucks.
Hmm.
But that's my bed, and that's the one I'm lying in. And I was kind of like, look, do I go to PS5 and this is a new generation of console wars, and then the Bethesda news hit, and I know what side what my bread's buttered on. If a new Elder Scrolls comes out, a new Fallout, and I have the opportunity to miss out on that, I suffered that pain when Street Fighter 5 went PlayStation 5 open, PlayStation 4 open, and that's probably why I only stream Street Fighter 4, because I literally cannot go. I've hit that glass ceiling of the Street Fighters now, because I now do not have the hardware to enable me to go further. I cannot, with my hand on heart, do that with now as a whole company being Bethesda, meaning any Fallout, any Elder Scrolls. I can't miss out on that. That's the way that my gaming habits have evolved, as it were. That their style of games are my favourite. Dishonored, Doom, they're all Bethesda. Those are big franchises. I don't understand why a developer will choose to only develop from one console, because they're marginalising their markets, surely.
Well, that's what I think I'm still kind of torn on which one I was gonna get.
They're gonna get later or something, let's be honest.
After a while, I will, but I'm like, I know Wolf's gonna chew me out. Just get a PC. Just get a PC.
Well,
I know Wolf.
I want to,
Hear
but again,
me
I
out.
don't at the same time. I'd love to sit here and go, PC's the best, but it's not. Let's be honest. No system is perfect.
Absolutely. But I was torn because most people know me largely as the FNAF content creator, right? And during the PS5 showcase that they just had, they showed off the new Five Nights at Freddy's game and said, look, it's going to be exclusive to PC and PlayStation at launch. And it was during the PS5 release, so everybody assumed that it would only be on PS5 until 3 months later. And after 3 months, the hype of a game will die. You know what I mean? Unless it's a really, really, really good game.
Yeah.
3 months is a long time. So I was like, oh man, I want to get a PS5 so I can continue my channel growth and whatnot. But then they announced it for PS4 as well on launch. And I have PS4, and I said, huh.
Correct me if I'm wrong. The PlayStation is cheaper than the Xbox, yes?
No, other way around.
Oh, okay.
So their powerful versions of both consoles are the same price. Their discless versions are Xboxes $100 cheaper.
Okay. Because what I was going to say, did Microsoft do this deal in the background before their consoles were released? Let that ship sail and then go, boom, here's some big news to sway you towards ours.
Game of chess, isn't it?
Well, Microsoft has already poked fun at Sony anyway for the fact that their Sony's release for the PS5, like the pre-order release, was the biggest load of crap that anybody's seen in a while. And
What happened?
and so they said, okay, so you can start pre-ordering tomorrow, where some stores had their stuff up the day that they announced it, rather than the day that it was supposed to be, and they sold out of pre-orders within an hour everywhere.
Let me get some
And then-
nails and a hammer. I need a coffin. PlayStation has just... I will say, from a business point, if you muck up a release of anything, it's very difficult to recover from it.
So everywhere sold out of pre-orders, right? So then Sony came out and said, hey, look, on this day, we're going to release a second wave where you can pre-order. Walmart themselves, when they realized there was a mess up, they pulled it down and said, anybody that has a pre-order that's online, you're still open for it. but we're gonna do our own standalone pre-order, and you have to come in store to do it. Now that's probably gonna make a lot of people mad because you got to go into a Walmart to pre-order.
Especially
But
now.
at the same time, yeah, you know, well, in the U.S. we're not going to shut down anytime soon, no matter what goes on. So, uh, like,
I'm not even
people
going
are-
there.
yeah, so people are going to keep. They're like, come into our store,
Mm.
and we'll have a day, and anybody that comes in should, in theory, if they want to pre-order, can pre-order. And that way, and it's supposed to be like a month before release, so that way they can all get their stock that they need. You know.
Hmm. It's
Microsoft came out and said, "Oh, don't worry. When we announce when you can do pre-orders, there won't be any kind of mess ups like that."
have they done that yet? The release?
Yeah, they haven't done their pre-orders is supposed to happen sometime this month. But they made the tweet like 2 days later after it broke the news that people were upset with Sony. They said, "Yeah, don't worry, we're not going to do that."
It's a whole supply and demand thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, because the PlayStation is set to come out like beginning of November, so it's only a month away.
They
Yeah, so-
want the Christmas sales, don't they?
Yeah,
But the thing
Like that-
is,
makes sense. They've done that every year so far. So.
it's the thing I'm thinking about is there is two camps people are in right now, and this is being very broad. There's people who are still working
Hmm.
and are going to go and buy it because they can't really do much else in the world.
Yeah.
Then there's other camp of people who can't afford it and are not working. And I think that divide, the people not working and can't afford it, unfortunately, I think it's just going to keep growing at the current rate of things.
Hmm. Unless you're in the States, and that won't happen. But that's another story for another time.
That's another story. I'm just going from my observations of what I see in the world. So, yeah, you can make it. Everybody, think for your. Something just fell over in my garden.
Well, you said you had a pretty bad storm going on. So.
Yeah, but that was a hell of a bang.
Yeah. I heard it.
Yes.
Yeah. Think for yourself. Be smart.
Yes. You think for
Be
yourself.
courageous.
Basically, read something and then think it through yourself. Yeah, because think for yourself, basically. Don't let someone else think for you. Basically, anything I say, you take for yourself and rethink it. Yeah, that's something I would advise to everybody. There's too many people, I think. Let someone else think for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. What other things have I got on the subject here? Webcam v DLSLR cameras. So I have a Logitech HD 1080p camera thing.
Hmm.
Now Logitech sell this camera that is like, I think it's £200. Okay, that's a hell of a lot of money
Yeah.
for a camera.
Hmm.
But then I
At
can
that point,
at that point,
you can just
Yeah.
buy a DSLR
yeah,
camera.
you can see where I'm coming from.
Hmm. Yeah.
But then it's a case of the camera just the DSLR. I need an extra cable. I need all the other bits.
I mean, that's fair. That's absolutely fair.
But the reason I'm saying this, and this is a subject, is I found out there's two versions of their webcam, right? And this goes out to everybody. There's the Brio Ultimate HD Pro camera, and this is off their website. It's 269. Why is it in CHFs? What currency is CHFs?
That Czech. No, CHZ is Czech.
Anyway,
Um,
this one is more expensive. It's like 60 currencies more expensive, whatever your currency is. There is no difference between the Pro one and the normal one.
Yeah.
The Pro
It's
one
like-
is for businesses. So anybody buying this expensive camera, just let you guys know, don't buy the thing. There's no bloody difference. But yeah, I could buy a DLSR for the same money.
When Tina upgraded her camera, she went from, or she was going to order the Logitech, the Pro one, but they were sold out at the time, so she went with the the downgraded one, and I was like, they're almost the same. Like they're virtually the same camera.
Sorry,
There's a it it might be a little better quality,
which camera
but
did she go for? Sorry.
whichever Logitech camera you're.
Oh,
talking
okay.
about.
Oh,
She
so
went
she's
for
got the really nice one.
Well, I think she said she went for the. I don't remember. I'll be honest with you. I think if I remember, she went for the nice one, and I was just like, I'm in the camp of you don't need a 1080p webcam, but that's just me.
Well, the reason I was going for it is because sometimes I want to do like a full screen talk,
yeah.
and it's
Yeah, that's fair.
it's not quite. It's very grainy. That's the only real reason I wanted it. But yeah, it's a lot of money for what it is. But then I
'Cause
thought,
spent.
Go on.
Let me check mine because I bought mine before the current world.
they've
mine-
they've all gone up a lot because of that.
Yeah, mine literally cost me $40, and it's a HD 960, but it's not a Logitech. It's Vitade or whatever. It's like a cheap brand webcam, and it shoots in 720. And I'm like, you know what? It's got a built-in ring light too, so I'm like, I'll take it. You know what I mean?
It does the job.
Yeah,
Well, that's what I was
Any
thinking.
Tool, any tool is useful if you know how to use it. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and I would
And-
encourage anybody to dig into the settings as well, because I found out with mine mine wasn't actually in 1080p, so it
Yeah,
has a
and-
small in things like that.
And that's just a. It goes back to like, the tools that you use to do YouTube and streaming. You can buy a cheap microphone,
Yes.
and if you know how to edit audio, if you know how to, even when streaming, you know how to edit your mic or edit your sounds, put compressors on it, noise gates, whatever. You can
Mhm.
make that $40 microphone sound professional,
Yes.
or as professional as you can. Where you see a lot of people going, "Oh, I'm going to buy this $350 microphone and a mixer and all this stuff." While that does sound better in the long run, you don't have to go do that. You can buy a cheap microphone. You can buy a cheap camera,
Mhm.
and then upgrade as you go. Because I think that's another thing that smaller content creators fear is like, "Oh, my stuff's not good enough." Don't worry about it. If you learn how to edit your audio,
Mhm.
because the number one thing people look at is audio. So like, you don't have to go out and buy a big expensive camera. You don't have to buy a big expensive microphone. Like currently I want the Elgato Wave 3, which is a phenomenal mic that Elgato just released, but it's like $300-$400. I don't have that kind of money.
I mean,
But I would love that.
it's one of these things that I've learned in life, and it's a case of if you buy cheap, you buy twice. But there is a point of diminishing returns.
Yeah.
So, like, if you draw a curve, like at the bottom end, you've got the difference between a $10 mic and a $20 mic is not a lot. The difference between a $50 mic and a $100 mic is quite a bit.
Yeah.
But then you get to the point where between like a $200 mic and a $1,000 mic, for YouTube, you're not going to tell the difference. You're not making movies.
hmm
And you can apply this to a lot of things.
And like Audacity is free. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
you have Audacity. I use OBS. I'm using OBS now.
Yeah.
And YouTube itself. They're the only two programs I'm currently, and Discord, sorry. Those are the three programs I'm currently using to broadcast what you're listening to now.
And they're all free.
And they're all free, yeah.
And like I know a lot of us, Twitch streamers, use Streamlabs
Mhm.
over regular OBS, and it's literally the same thing. Like you can go into that program and edit your mic settings and stuff like that. You just have to take the time to learn how to edit audio and stuff like that. And you don't need
It takes a while. Assuming you turn your mic on as well.
a.
I was a
I've
dig
done
at
that in the
myself.
past.
That was a dig at
No,
myself.
I
I'm
think-
You
very
say that,
particular.
but I've done that the past 3 streams. I'm like, what's up, guy? They can't hear me.
Yeah.
I literally did that at the
I'll
start of this.
come on my opening screen, I was yelling at the camera, and then Welshie usually pops up and goes,
Yep,
"Can't hear
yep.
you." I'm like, every time.
You know what you do with that? You cut that and throw it into a outtakes video. I'm slowly doing that myself. Slowly collecting
That's
outtakes.
my Twitch VOD, mate. That's
Oh.
just-
Oh.
Oh, come on. But yeah, it's funny because you look at all the mistakes that as smaller creators again that we made.
Mm.
But then you look at larger channels and they do the same thing, so it's like whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We're all human at the end of the day. We all make mistakes.
It happens. It's
Yeah.
how you deal with the mistakes is what makes us different.
Some of us cuss and scream at their Xbox, and other ones say, "Man, come on, it's no
I'm
big
waiting
deal.
for
Just
that.
hit the reset button."
And some-
I had bad tech issues on Tuesday stream, and I actually kept my cool, which I still don't know how.
Yeah, shocking.
I just laughed it off. To be honest, I just laughed it off. I was all like, this
We
is
tried
rubbish.
to. So we learned in his stream that for the way his PC is set up currently, he can't run Streamlabs, Discord, Xbox Game Capture, and it's too many programs, and it just slowed his computer way down. He switched
Worked
over.
before.
Yeah,
Worked before.
that's the thing. It worked when we did Gang Beast, right? But then he switched his scene to throw something in the sin bin, do his
Mhm.
hot take issue, and the entire stream went kapooey,
Oh.
and we couldn't figure it out. And I was just like, look, I'll go. You handle your stream. I don't have to beat you again with this dinosaur. You know what I mean? So
Oh, you have to get that in. Yes,
dig it,
yes,
dig that knife a little further.
He didn't successfully beat the self-purported beat-em-up master at his own game.
Mhm. The link is in the
I-
description.
I'll clip it. And then we can have a little thing of Chris beating me at a beat 'em up. Yes, no, look, I'm not so
Look,
much the
look.
sore loser that
Look, Wolf. It was 1 out of 20 matches that we played. I think I might have 2 victories over him. So
Oh, dear.
I look. You take them when you can, right? So
Oh,
I just
yeah.
gotta dig it a little further.
enjoy it. Just could you imagine if I ever beat you at Mario Kart? I would be insufferable.
Oh, I know.
I would be absolutely. I suck at Mario Kart for the record.
And the beans would taste really nasty.
Oh, exactly. I'd end up eating the whole butternut squash, which was rotten. I think.
Butternuts. Oh my god! How did the bean thing start? Was it just something that's always been?
So, okay, so the first, I want to say we did a Mario Kart stream. I know Welshian, or I did one because I challenged Alex to play Mario Kart. So there was a lot of Discord calls and a lot of chats of me going, yeah, I'm the best in Mario Kart. Nobody can beat me.
Oh
I'm
dear!
absolute garbage. Like I'm garbage at the game in comparison to,
Did you lay down the
players.
gauntlet?
And so I was like, well, the first time I was like, yeah, Alex and Welshie, and we'll play, and because they were the Switch players at the time, I was like, yeah, let's play, and we'll just play and have fun. Well, that entire stream, the first one with the 3 of us, turned into me trash talking the entire time because I wouldn't lose. And so then I threw the gauntlet down again, and I said, they're like, oh, we'll get you next time. And I said, this is how confident I am that you won't beat me. I will buy Bean Boozled jelly beans, which are disgusting, nasty jelly beans.
Describe some of the flavors, Chris.
So it's a 50-50, right? You can pick one and it's orange. You eat it. You have a 50-50 chance of it being peach or vomit flavor.
So basically, the Harry Potter every
Yeah,
flavour bean
pretty
thing.
much. Except for this is a 50-50 chance. So like
Oh,
the
God.
blue one, the blue ones are fine. Blue ones like toothpaste or blueberries. Like
That's not
toothpaste
horrible.
doesn't. Yeah, that's the best one out of the entire group. But then you got like the white one, which is coconut. Okay, coconut's okay.
Mhm.
Versus I think it's like dirty dishwater or something like.
Oh,
Milk, wasn't
God.
Spoiled milk.
Oh.
Spoiled milk. Yellow one is popcorn or rotten eggs.
Oh,
And
no.
so I was like, I'm so confident that I can beat you guys. Like you can't beat me. I will buy these stupid jelly beans that are available at my local Walmart.
Oh,
I will buy them, and every time I lose a race, I'll eat one. Well, that incited a riot in my chat that day
Oh, no.
of people throwing bits, trying to scare me to mess me up in the race. And we just found out that they are terrible at Mario Kart. Sorry, Welshie, if you're in the chat.
Oh, dear.
Well, then, so
That
after
was a
that
very
stream,
expensive day, can I just mention, by the way.
between him, Rafiki, and Alex, because Alex was playing and she was also doing sound alerts to try to mess me up, and I was like, oh my god, y'all are gonna kill me. After that day, because at the end of the stream I said, all right, so I'm so confident. Again, I get real cocky sometimes, but I'm like, This was all in good fun. They know I'm just messing around, but I was like, I'm so confident. I'll put both of you on a team, and I'll still beat you. And I proceeded to have to eat a bean after every race. And I said, from that day forward, I'll never do it again. And then guess what? I did it again. But the thing was, right? So I was like, I won't do the nasty ones. I'll do the spicy ones. Which that was a bad idea in itself anyway. But like the spicy ones, I have the box still right here. It's 5 flavors. It starts at sriracha, goes to jalapeno, cayenne, and then it goes habanero or Carolina Reaper.
I don't like any of them.
That's a jumping curve in terms of sort of if one was to take the Scoville chart and basically plot them on a Scoville chart. The first 3, it's a gentle incline. Then when you start hitting habanero and Carolina Reapers, I'm like, it's absolutely insane. It's sort of like saying, oh, you could drink the following: you could drink some water, you could drink some Coke in terms of acidity, and then you can go into hydrochloric acid. That I'm saying that's what I'm trying to portray as the sort of exponential growth of severity.
And like Cam says in the chat, now I have an emote because it's become a staple on my channel. People will come in and go beans, like capital BANS. But like the weird thing about these, right, is the spicy ones aren't necessarily nasty. They literally taste exactly like what you expect those things to taste like. So like a jalapeno jelly bean literally tastes like you took a bite out of a jalapeno. And it's not even that hot, really, because again, jalapeno is really relatively low on the scale. And it's like, you're sitting there going, jalapeno with a jelly bean texture is kind of gross. You know what I mean? So,
my opinion is still very much that a ghost pepper does not belong in confectionery. End of. It's sadism.
Well, this one's the Carolina Reaper, right? So, and the worst part about Carolina Reaper is you eat it, and or at least the jelly bean anyway, is you eat it, and it doesn't hit you immediately.
Oh no!
And you're like, and the other issue is that there's 3 red ones, right? So sriracha, which is the bottom, cayenne, and Carolina Reaper all look similar. So when you bite into it, you're like, oh, this is sriracha, it's not that bad, and then it hits you like a brick. Somebody literally took a brick, dipped it in lava, and then punched you in the mouth with it. That's how it feels.
God.
Wolf, have you ever seen what a Carolina Reaper looks like?
I think I have, because I think...
Yes, Welshie, we all want tea.
Yes, please. I haven't drunk enough today.
I'm drinking my caffeine right now. So.
I think whenever someone says like hot peppers, 2 things that pop in my head, and for some reason I don't know why. One is Richard Hammond did one where he took a stupidly hot pepper, I can't remember the name of it, and touched his tongue with it, and yeah, he was crying his eyes out afterwards. And then Jacksepticeye did it in one of his really, really early videos. I think it was like 1,000 subs. And that was back at the time when people were doing that for subs. Like they hit a milestone and do something stupid.
Alright, so I'm gonna make the announcement now, since it's on your channel.
Go for it.
This just popped in my head, and I'm sure everybody will forget by the time it happens.
Everyone make notes.
When I get to 1,000 subs, I'll do the 1 chip challenge. How about that?
What's the 1 chip challenge? I don't know this.
So it's a Pocky chip. It's almost like a tortilla chip, and it's seasoned with it's like Ghost or Carolina Reaper or Ghost Pepper seasoning, and it's 1 chip. And you literally, if you they recommend you wear gloves to pick it up. That's how hot it is.
Wow.
And you then you eat it. It's 1 chip, and you have to wait 3 minutes before. Like the challenge is, you wait 3 minutes before you can drink any milk or whatever.
Oh my god.
You normally tell me to stop digging holes.
Oh look, digging up the holes, digging.
Do you want JCB to help you? Just
look, I'll do it. I don't care. I love so. Alex and I had this conversation. It's like, as a Southern American, if you don't put hot sauce on it, you probably won't eat it. Hot sauce makes the world go around for us. Like,
see, I like very plain things. So like a cheese toasty is like the spiciest it's gonna get for me, which is not spicy at all.
What about Tabasco, Wolf? Would you even venture to put into? Okay.
Like I've had like insert generic shops mild curry, and it's way too hot for me. I've always had, my mother always made very traditional English food, so it's like shepherd's pie and chips, stuff like that. So Yeah.
Welshie says she watched Unis Honest, where they ate the hottest chip. Yeah, Welshie, that's what I was talking about. That's the chip I was talking about.
They're due to delete that channel, aren't they? Because that channel's only meant to be for 1 year.
Yeah, they have just over a month left. And then they're going to delete the entire channel.
Hang on a minute. They started that channel at the beginning of the year. Conspiracy theory moment.
They started in October. It was October, November last year when they started.
Ah, okay. They announced it, didn't they?
Yeah, they said. Well, no, that's when their first video launched.
Oh, I thought it was.
They
from
made an
the
announcement
first.
and said at the end of this video we have 365 days to into whatever, and I think they're down to 40 plus, maybe 50 plus days left. It was the middle of November when they launched.
Conspiracy theory is that they caused everything going on in the world. Because isn't Unus Annus Remember Death?
Memento Mori. Yeah, Remember Death, and Memento Mori is oh man, what was
Soism? Is that the word I'm looking for?
I'm about to look it up. It's like it has something to do with death.
I think again, citation needed.
Memento Mori is Remember Death. Unus Honest means 1 year, so 1 year Remember Death.
Yeah, Nito's just said
Mhm.
Yeah. There we go.
I only know
makes-
Memento Mori because I've got the card. I've got the playing cards, so that's the only reason I know that.
I only know it because a friend of mine's got it on his mud flap on his bike.
Yeah, it's a popular
Yeah.
Latin phrase. Like, okay.
I think he was the one that told me this. He might even be
big
listening,
brain.
actually. Hello.
Yeah. So it's Penito.
I'm never going to remember. I am never going to remember. I am so sorry.
If you portmanteaued a hen and a burrito, yeah,
Fair.
just think of it that way.
Penito.
Penito.
Sorry, Janito, for equating you to a burrito. I'm very quite sorry.
I
think if
one of my first band was in Latin. They were talking about Latin in the chat. And I was like, my first band was it was called Verendum. Those that know what it means, just don't know what it means, look it up because
You're not right in saying that. You're not broadcasting that. Yeah.
I'm not going to look it up. So
it was meant as a joke, and we were going to change the name later, but then it's just like YouTube channels. You know, you're like, oh, I'll just throw a name out there and then change it later. Kind of like mine, for instance, and it's stuck, and I'm like, oh, I kind of like it now. You know what I mean?
There you go. I can call him Hen. That makes it easier for me. It's totally my fault. I just want to clarify that. Oh dear.
Wait, she says it was the origin though. Hen and burrito. Henito.
Oh.
To be fair,
That's awesome.
Are pretty good.
That is awesome. I never knew that either.
We'll just have to wait for a Q&A when she hits 100.
Yeah. Hen
Shouldn't be too
burrito.
long.
She says because her partner likes to wrap her up in blankets. That's awesome. Her channel name came about because she had a camembert in the oven.
What's a
That's awesome.
What is that? I don't know.
Camembert is a
Melty cheese.
It's a melty cheese, yeah.
Oh God! My penny's just dropped. Yep.
Yeah.
That suddenly everything on our stream just suddenly makes sense now.
It's suddenly cheese related.
Yeah, I know. I never got that, and now I'm such an idiot.
It's alright.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
so
hidden in
sorry, Ken.
Well, seriously, man, it's we're hidden in plain sight, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I think
Can't see the wood for the trees.
Cam's now mad at me. I think.
Just woof.
Oh no.
That's a delicious name for sure.
You just got Savlon. Yep.
So I wouldn't know because in the U.S., unless I go to like a health food store, camembert is not like a popular thing here
What? Why is it in a health store?
because Walmart doesn't carry it. I was like, Walmart doesn't carry it. You know, our regular grocery stores don't carry it because it's I guess here it's a fancier cheese. Whether it's a fancy cheese or not, there I have no idea. But you have to go to like a store like an Aldi or whatever, you know, a fancier grocery store.
Hang on. Aldi's a
I was just
fancy
gonna
grocery-
say,
hang on,
yeah.
Well,
wait,
so
what?
again,
What?
So that's my point that I'm trying to make here. And Aldi for you guys is probably like a Walmart for us. But like grocery stores here are like buy low, you know.
So
All the over here, Chris, is basically they use like weird knocked off versions of stuff. Like instead of a Kit Kat, you'll get a Cot Kit, and it's from Latvia. but it's really, really random. Their sort of branded stuff. So the bran flakes, it's called Flan Breaks or something like that. Then you walk in there and you'll pick up your bran flakes, and they'll be next to like gardening shears, a wetsuit, a chainsaw, and a toy octopus. And you'll sit there and you go, I don't understand what these shops are about.
So
okay, so
he's completely right.
So that's how our Walmart is. Though. That's what Walmart is here.
So
right?
I remember going into Walmart. This is years ago, and I remember when you go and it goes like, "Hello, welcome to Walmart," and all the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
To quote the comedian, "I want to be a Walmart greeter. Why? Because I want to stand there and go, get your shit and get out." Sorry, I love that.
Oh, swore.
I know.
Swore.
Someone had to
Swore.
do it. It's my turn. It's my
Swore.
turn. Should we have a
Put a
charity?
jar in.
We need a charity swear jar.
Can I mention that the bookies have just made an absolute mint because the bookies were on me to swear next.
Wait, did you guys have a? Hang on a minute. Why didn't I get a piece of this?
Yeah, we were discussing a swear jar on Twitter, and we were discussing the odds, and the odds on me being the next one to swear are, well, it's not worth betting.
Look, we made a joke the other day where it was like, we were talking about how I was the one that dropped the F-bomb last time, and we were like, if we would have put a bet out on Twitter, everybody put $1 in the pie or whatever, see who would cuss first. I would have made a lot of money that day. Because everybody would have put their money on Sin, not me. And then today would have been like, all right, we'll just split it between Sin and Chris, and then you did it. So.
God damn it.
Swore!
Yeah.
Another quarter.
Oh dear.
Literally nothing gets by Welshie at all. She is like
says,
a
"Sword!"
hawk. She's like
That's why we all made her the heart monitor, right?
absolutely. She's like the conductor of this fine orchestra that we find ourselves in.
Wait, what?
She is the conductor, right?
Oh
It
dear.
wasn't. She's always starting the chain reactions of chat emotes.
That reminds me, I've got to build a greenhouse soon.
See, she was.
Oh
in the
dear.
chat.
But no, I remember going back to what we were talking about, shops and stuff. I remember going into Walmart, and on the Walmart I went into was in Florida, and on the right was.
Continue.
And imagine that's an in-joke. Wow, Welshie.
I got the flag for it too.
So did I. What are we doing?
Welshie, would you like to make a call on that?
I'm not reading it out.
No, I'm not reading it out.
I mean, I'll read it, but I can bleep it.
If you can bleep it, go for it.
She says the effing greenhouse.
Oh,
Oh, I thought you were going to have an actual bleep button.
I'm anticipating an actual
Oh,
one.
sorry.
I'm
No.
so disappointed.
Look, I only did that on one video. Okay, come on.
I'm hiding it just for future viewers. So, yeah, I went into Walmart, and I remember turning right, and there was I think it's called a deli counter.
Yep.
And
That one I'm on.
the chicken breasts there, the sauce in it, my God, I have not had nicer sauce in my entire life since.
What sauce was it?
I don't know. I was too young to know. But it was so nice. Like, every time we went to America, that was a thing we went and did. We went and got a bag of that each and just munched on it.
Chicken breast?
It was like a chicken... Was it chicken breast? It must have been chicken sticks. And it was just in some... I'm assuming some generic barbecue sauce. And it was just so nice. And, yeah, and the same... Lay's crisps. Now, I know what everybody's going to say they're the same as Walker's crisps, which is the same company over here. But I'm sure they taste different.
You know why?
Go
I
on.
think we went over this last time.
Did we?
Yeah.
Go on.
What does America use that the rest of the world
Oh,
doesn't?
chlorine.
Chemicals.
Some would drag
Use
out now.
them. Like that's literally the only reason. Like you can look at the ingredients for Lay's chips versus Walker's. It's literally the same brand. I guarantee you, there's chemicals that are in ours that aren't used in y'all's, and it's because it's illegal in the UK where it's legal here. You know.
I saw in the news that we're sending meat to America now, and I'm like, that's going to be going by air freight, so it's going to be bloody expensive.
Oh, you want to hear a fun fact about American and its meat.
Are you talking about the? I can't remember the name of the companies. The meat.
No. No,
Oh, go on.
yeah, no, yeah. The one I know there was one plant that got shut down because of the situation, you know. But no. So when I was working at Walmart, right, I would usually stock frozen seafood. You know, that after we broke down the truck or whatever, that was like the last thing I had to do before I went to lunch. Usually, is stock seafood. So I would go out there and you know, you look at the different packaging because you always want to know where like stuff comes from and whatnot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I was looked into it. I looked at a bag of tilapia. On the front of the label, there's a big sticker that says "Farmed in the USA." Okay, so in America, people see that and go, "Oh, I want to buy that because it was made here."
Patriotism, basically.
So yeah, absolutely, and I'm sure that's the same over there or whatever. But if you read the back of the package in the fine print, it says, and this is what I was talking about with shipping, right? It says caught in the USA, packaged in China, sold in the USA. You tell me that they caught a fish here, they shipped it all the way to China to pack it, and then they shipped it back to us.
Yep.
And it's honestly, and it's cheap fish to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Scales of
Tilapia,
economy.
it's tilapia is farm bred in the U.S., so it's like if you could figure out how to package it here, it would cost you a lot less.
What fish is it? Tilapia.
Tilapia.
Tilapia. I've never heard of that. Have you heard of it, Wolf?
No.
I've never heard of that fish.
It's a very, very mild fish.
It might be one of those things that has like two names.
We call it like an anchovy or a.
Yeah, it might be something like that.
No, it's a big fish. Hold on, I'll pull up the Google machine.
Google.
Yep, I'm doing that now. I've honestly never heard of that. It sounds like something that River Monsters program where you can eat children or something like that.
They are freshwater fish. Inhabit shallow streams, ponds, rivers, lakes, and less commonly found in brackish water. Major importance in artisanal fishing in Africa.
But hang on,
What do we call it, Wolf?
I don't know. I'm not googling, so I can't spell it.
It's TILAPIA.
I've just written toilet. Hang on. TIA.
You've been doing too much DIY, haven't you?
Yeah.
Hen says they heard of it in Animal Crossing.
Yeah, it's in Animal Crossing. It makes me. It's kind of funny because you guys, you know, you have salmon and you have
Cod.
Cod. See, we sell, or we don't sell it, but I know there's a fish here called I think it's called a crapper, which sounds. Let me make sure I'm saying that right. It's literally a small fish called a crapper.
But that might just be one of those things where the word has changed meaning over the years.
But they're called crappies. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Crappies.
A tilapia is a cichlid, and the only time I've heard that is that's the same family as like sort of tropical tank angelfish.
Pretty good.
I'm just it's just interesting. I was just trying to equate it to, because I mean over in this country you walk into a Harry Ramsden and any fish and chip shop, you'll get cod, you'll get haddock. Scampi has changed because scampi used to be I think it used to be langoustines, which are quite expensive, those little crab things, those little lobsters. Mm-hmm. But now it's just monkfish, because obviously monkfish is a lot more resourceable than farming langoustines, which, you know, now are a delicacy in Scotland. But yeah, so that in terms of I mean, you get your salmons, you know, I mean they're pretty standard fish over here. You don't tend to get really odd. I don't use the word odd fish because what's odd for you isn't odd for us, and vice versa. But I mean it's the same as when you go to like the Mediterranean. In the Mediterranean, you will, you know, I mean, like you go to like somewhere like Sorrento in Italy, for example. I only say that because I've been to Sorrento in Italy, and I've been to, you know, like seafood restaurants there, and it's similar sort of stuff. Apart from like the Spanish have like bacalao, which is like salted cod and stuff like that, or some kind of salted fish. And there's kind of minor differences, but when I hear a kind of fish which I've never ever heard of, it just throws me, because I now don't have that base point. Do you see
Have
what
you-
I mean?
So you guys don't have bass, do you either?
Yes, we have sea bass.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
I
see,
reckon
we
there's-
have-
Like roasted sea bass with some.
We
olive
have,
oil.
I believe we have freshwater bass, and they're called. You can either get regular bass or striped bass or big mouth bass, or people eat those here too.
I've only ever caught them in Far Cry, so.
When I was younger, we used to go out and we would go out to a pond that had a lot of fish in it, like the crappies and whatever, and we would just sit out there all day and fish. And then at the end of the day, you take what you got up to the house and you scale it and you do what you got to do, and then you fry it up and call it a day.
See, I did the stupid fishing where I'd let them go at the end of the day.
Oh yeah,
Oh, and water
so that
skiing.
we had a lot of those, but like when it was the family got together, you had a fish fry, and
Chris, I don't mean to sound racist here, that you are a denizen of the southern states of America, but have you ever had catfish then? Because I know that they're quite common around there. And
Yep.
is it true that people literally catch them by sticking their hands in banks and hoiking them out with the corners of their mouth? Is that true?
that is called. People would catch them with rods. You can catch them with rods, but you can go. I think it's called bear fish. Bear. I don't remember what the term is, but yeah, that is a thing. Because you reach your hand down into a hole, and when you feel its mouth bite down, you grab it through its gills and pull it right out of the water.
That's not.
I have
that's not a
personally
hobby.
never done that.
That's a hobby I do not wish to partake in.
Cam's in the same wavelength as me, and she just put poor fish. That reminds me of...
Okay, so with fish being overly popular, like overpopulated here, okay, we're gonna eat them. It's better than just doing what some people do and throw dynamite in the water. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, I was going to say, there's worse ways to fish.
You can equate humaneness though, because like for example, a lobster is literally boiled alive.
Boiled
It is
alive, yeah.
alive,
Mm.
and then you basically literally boil it. I mean, regardless of whether it's a quick death, but I mean, being boiled alive for me equates to like the sort of execution that the Mongols did with the brass ball. I mean, it's just horrible. It's absolutely horrible. That must be that's as bad as being burned alive, surely.
well, it's also like one of the popular things, especially here, is hunting. Everybody goes hunting, whether it's turkey season or deer season, or they go hunting, and a lot of people, especially in the South, they go hunting and they eat it. They don't just go hunting for sport. Now there is a lot of people out there that hunt for sport. They kill it and then whatever. Where like I had family members that if they got I've never been hunting because I don't shoot animals, right? But my uncles, my grandfather, they would go hunting deer, and if they caught a big buck, like a big 12-point buck or whatever, they would take it to the plant, pack it for meat, whatever, and then we would eat that. You eat deer meat or venison or whatever, and then they would if it was a big enough buck, they would hang the damn head on the There's my coin. They would hang the head on the wall. But let me drop my 25 cents for the D word. But yeah.
Cam just made a good point of about the brass ball thing. That the person who made it was told to get into it to make sure a person could fit and killed them. I remember that. Yeah.
Brass.
Have something looking
that
at me.
thing.
Something I killed, staring at me in the face in my front room. I couldn't.
Yeah, they used to have it in the living room. When my grandfather passed, my grandmother took that thing down. I got to disown my family members for doing that. Yeah, look. When you're in the southern U.S., that's a common thing, unfortunately. And luckily, my parents, neither one of them go hunting, or they agree with hunting. We used to fish back in the day, but if I was fishing, it was with my uncles. It wasn't with my parents. So they raised me right, but
I think, I hate to use the phrase "that's how it used to be," but I think going way, way, way back, sort of before electricity and stuff, time period in America and most of the world, it was a case of the reason you would hang, say, a deer's head on the wall, is the equivalent of having your what's it called? Your doctorate on the wall or something.
I was about to say your diploma.
Yeah, diploma, your
that you're proud about.
PhD. That's because that's how you survived. Look at this big meal I supplied to my family Whereas now it's like, look at this, what I've achieved to help support my family.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, so I guess like at least with my family, it was if you killed it, you ate it. You didn't kill it to kill it. You know what I mean? So while it still doesn't necessarily have to be right, at least you're using the meat. And a lot of times they would only take what they needed because meat's gonna go bad after a while. But they would take what they needed and donate the rest. So it's like it's not going to waste. The whole animal is not going to waste.
oh yeah, I think the biggest... We need to eat,
Yeah.
and as long as you're not wasting it, and you're not causing suffering. But there again, it's like anything, there's no perfect system, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, you can turn the vegan route or vegetarian route or whatever, and that's again your choice. I'm not going to judge you if that's what the route you want to take. But it is really hard for somebody to go from where your main intake is protein from animals and make them vegan or vegetarian. Like for instance, I could, like, if I wanted to right now, I could cut out beef and pork because I don't eat beef and pork as much. I eat chicken a lot, and I eat fish, but you have to do it gradually. Yeah, Cam, I 100% agree with that.
I'm sorry to cut you off. And speaking of food, I've got a dash. I just want to say thank you to Wolf for allowing me on to just invade as normal. And,
No, it's fine, mate. You're more than welcome.
I've got a vamoose now, but yeah, I'll see you all later. And thank you for having me on.
No worries,
All right,
mate.
buddy.
Have
Take
a
it
nice
easy.
food. See you later, buddy. But yeah, it's...
Well, she says she likes my meat too much. That's okay. like I said, I could easily cut out something like a beef or a pork because I already don't eat pork that much anyway. Because of the way, like, I watched a processing video on how they process pork, and it made me gag. And I'm like, I can cut one thing out, it's gonna be pork, And beef is already like, and you best not be judged. Look, Cam, I don't judge anything. You can be vegan, vegetarian. You can eat dessert all day long. I don't care. That's not my life.
Yeah, this goes back to what I was saying earlier. You have your own thoughts. You can do you do what you want to do. Don't go by what I'm saying or anybody's saying. Do what you want to do. Have your own thoughts.
For me, and getting back into lifting weights and stuff like that, chicken for me is literally, I can eat one chicken breast, and that's 30, 35, 40 grams protein. And if I eat that right after a workout, there's my protein. I don't have to drink I hate protein shakes. They all taste nasty. Every single one I've had tastes gross. But I can eat a chicken breast because I can, season it with a little garlic, lemon pepper if I want to do that. A little bit of salt. I can make the chicken taste good, whereas protein shakes taste horrible.
It's like Cam just said.
People talk poop about veggies and vegan. Look,
Which brings up the point of, like, I was talking to someone in, like, I was in town today, and the thing is, if you criticise someone for something they're doing, and they're not doing anything bad, if that makes sense,
yeah.
then why criticise them?
My whole thing is you're not affecting my life, so what do I care?
Yeah, it's a good example of how does what you're doing affect me, and why should I criticise it? You're welcome to comment on it, but the minute you start saying you shouldn't do that because I think it's wrong, there's a problem. It should be, I don't think you should do that because of these following reasons. And there's a phrase I use occasionally with people when I talk to them, and it's a case of, like, if I disagree with someone and they disagree with me on something, it's a case of we should need to agree to disagree on this subject,
Oh, absolutely.
not go on into a full-on argument. And it's hard to to suppress, like, the primeval feelings of I need to fight this person to prove my point, because that's what we used to do hundreds and thousands of years ago, whenever it was, like when we were apes and stuff.
Back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day. That's back in a few days, that one. But yeah, it's you need to people this sounds like I'm preaching at the moment, but I'm not. I'm just chatting.
You're basically just saying like, at the end of the day, everybody's got their own mind. It's just to wrap that whole statement up. It's like if somebody is a certain way, and this is I apologize if I go too off rail. Please reel me back in. It has to do. It's the same thing with gender. It's the same thing with who you prefer. It's the same thing with what you eat, who you are, what kind of shows you like. If it's not bothering me, like if it's not affecting my life, why do I care? Go be with who you want to be. Identify as what you want to identify with. And at least this is my personal opinion. Eat what you want. Like at the end of the day, I'm gonna do me. You do you. We can be friends, and we don't have to always see eye to eye on stuff. But as your friend, if anybody is my friend that has a disagreement with me, I'm gonna listen to what you have to say. I'm gonna respect your opinion. But if I don't agree with it, I don't agree with it. But I'm not gonna try to tear you down for how you are, how you feel.
No, there's one thing I've noticed, and again, think what you think. This is just thoughts in my head. It's when someone, like the example that was given in chat, that someone will talk crap about someone being vegan. At that point, from an outsider's point of view, those two people, the person who's vegan is just doing what they believe in and what they think is best for the world. The other person is just trying to make their personal choices. They're just trying to what's the word I'm looking for? They're just trying to confirm their thing. There's a word for it.
Look, I'm Smooth Brain Wolf. I'm sorry.
No, there's like a name. Like it's like when you look for facts to support your theory, not just look up information.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, support your ideas, and you ignore. Basically, if you just take climate change for a minute, we're going down this road. We might as well go down this one while we're at it. You can look at the data, and you can go, I'm going to ignore 50% of the data because 50% of the data doesn't affirm. That's the word I was looking for. It affirms.
There it is.
There it is.
I told her earlier that she's one of the smartest people I've met, and look, she just proves it every day.
It basically justifies your choice in life. Basically, by dragging that person in, and at that point, if you're doing that, that tells you something more about you than it does about them. If you find yourself wanting to judge someone for something that you shouldn't be judging them on, you're free to have your opinion.
I mean, it's like what she said. It's you don't hate on people for who they are or what you judge them based on. If you're going to judge somebody, judge it based on their actions, because actions always speak louder than words.
Yeah.
Don't hold it against others if they eat meat. It's their choice. Yeah, they need to. So
it's like.
Unless, Cam said in your chat that she's vegetarian. It's like okay.
that's your choice. I mean, so long as you're not, without making it too broad, as long as you're not hurting someone or hurting something.
Oh yeah.
I'm being very broad with this because the list could go on forever about. So long as it's not doing this or this or this. You know what I'm saying? It's so long as it's not. Yeah. There is no perfect system.
Oh, absolutely. Nothing's perfect in this world.
Nothing is perfect.
As much as you want to all try to be control freaks or whatever and control the narrative, but nothing's perfect. Something's gonna mess up. Look at all. You can equate this to look at all of our content creators. We've all done something and went, crap, I did that wrong.
We've all done
you just kind of roll with the tide.
But this is
Oh no, Cam, I 100% agree that the agriculture industry is very problematic. Like I said, I watched a video on how pigs are treated, and it made me go, do I really need pork in my life? You know what I mean? And I know that all animals are treated that way, and it's weird because I wouldn't go out and eat a horse. You know what I mean? I wouldn't go out and eat a dolphin. But a cow, and you're like,
I think it's,
I would 100% agree. It is a tough one, and it's something that we all turn a blind eye to.
Yeah.
And there's not. You can always go the humane way, and
Mhm.
like there are brands that have free range stuff or that treat the animals better. You could
Mm.
always do that, and but do we all do that? No. we you look at 2 packs of chicken, you're like, oh, this is free range and
Mm.
antibiotic free, and they raised them right, and it's like $18, or the
Yeah.
big family pack of regular breasts is only like $4. You know what I mean?
Mm.
And that's again, I guess that goes back to supply and demand.
Now, I don't know about you or anybody in the chat, but there's a few sayings that I try and remind myself. And again, it goes back to what you said, Chris, is actions speak louder than words. And sometimes, like, I say things and then the actions I do are complete opposite. So I'm guilty of this. And no one is perfect. Absolutely nobody. And a few of them are like things like, everybody makes mistakes.
Everybody has those days.
Everybody has those
going,
days.
What?
But
Sorry,
it's-
Hannah Montana reference. Keep going.
I don't know that show.
Oh, your viewers in chat will get that reference.
I'm glad someone will. I've got no idea. We all make mistakes, but it's how you treat the mistakes afterwards
Yeah.
is how you learn. You can there's several sayings I'm just going to come out with here because they're very good, important sayings that I think are good to put out there. And these are things I've learnt from some very wise people in my life. That I've met some amazing people in my life that are like. So I remember speaking to someone, and I remember saying to them that anything I build was always failing, and they said, "Well, that's a good thing." And I was like, "Why?" Because it means I'm no good at building things. It's like, no, you're missing the point.
Yeah.
When you fail, you learn something more than when you succeed. And you can apply that not just to making things, but to everything. So say you fail at a friendship, you then have to sit there. There's like two routes. You can go, right, that person was a or whatever, or you can go, what did I do wrong, and why did it fail, and learn from it.
I mean, I've taken that same thing with relationships. Why did this relationship go bad? Okay, well, I'm not gonna do that next time, or I know what signs to look for next time. To again, like you have to treat every situation differently in regards to relationships. But like, once you've been in bad ones, you know what to look out for. And again, like, I'm not saying that all my past relationships were their fault or my, it was equal faults on each part. So I know what I need to change when those relationships failed. So it's kind of in the same boat. Like, if you don't fail, you'll never know what was it? If you don't fail, you'll never enjoy success.
Yes.
Because you just, if you always succeed, you always expect success. Whereas if you fail, you go, okay, now it's a learning experience. I again, to equate it back to streaming, there's a lot of times where I made mistakes on streaming, and I'm sure people would go, oh, no, you didn't. I know I did. Okay, so like forgetting to turn the mic on, that's a mistake. Okay, so I know next time, hit the mic button before I go live. You know what I mean? And I've been doing that a lot lately. But it like I said, if you don't appreciate failing, you'll never understand what it's like to appreciate succeeding.
Yeah.
And like I said, use all your failures to learn and move on to the next thing.
There is
yin and yang.
Yeah, yin and yang. Yeah. There is, and like, I'm not saying that I know it all. I'm far from it.
Oh,
but
yeah, me neither. Don't take anything like I know it all. I know bare minimum.
So I don't know how to phrase these, but these are just sayings that bounce around in my head. Some of them I can remember who told me them, and some of them I can't remember where they come from. So they're not mine. They're just ones that stick in my head. It's things like if you get anxiety and stuff like that. Say you're walking down the high street. You're walking down the high street, and if you get anxiety, it's a case of everybody else is more worried about what they're doing and what they look like to worry about what you're doing and what you look like.
Perfect example I have for you is going to the gym. So everybody fears going to the gym, and this is before the global situation, right?
Yeah.
Most people fear going because they feel like they're going to get judged.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I and maybe I know it's a little harder for girls because guys see girls in the gym and go, "Oh,
Yeah,
you're pretty,"
that's a whole nother
but
problem.
yeah.
Oh,
But like
don't.
for say me, I'm a bigger guy, right? You
Hmm.
go to the gym, you're like, "Oh, I'm not ultra ripped," I'm gonna get judged because I'm not ultra ripped or whatever, or I'm
But
not lifting
but forgive me
300
for
pounds, but I'm lifting 200 pounds. Go
but
ahead.
forgive me for saying it. That's why you're at the gym.
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly why, and that's why like the thing that used to make me mad is I would see people judging somebody that was big. Like when I'm talking big, I'm talking
Mm.
about they're overweight. But that person built up the courage for them to go.
Yeah,
They're already anxious because they didn't want to be there to begin with, but they want to take life into their own hands and start doing better for themselves.
yeah.
Why do we have to judge them because of where they're at now? They're
Sure.
taking the effort to
Yes.
make you better. Like,
Surely you should be applauding them because they are actually doing something about. I don't want to use the word problem, but I can't think of a better word. They're doing something about the problem they have.
yeah,
They're going to the gym to solve the problem. It's like
Yeah.
criticising someone for going to the doctors because they
that's,
broke their
that's
leg. It's like, no, they are doing the correct thing.
and
And,
this also goes back to like, um, I I hate trying to build myself up with this, but like, I am somebody that likes to encourage people. If you enjoy something, please keep doing it.
hmm,
Right? I'm somebody that's like, if you um, don't like, if something makes you anxious, don't don't hesitate to reach out. Don't hesitate to um, ask me. Don't I'm going to be that. No, you can do it. You can do it.
hmm,
I know you can. I know you have the ability to do it, and that's who I am. And when I see somebody say in the gym that say they're again, they're overweight, but they're putting in the effort to
hmm.
say, look, this is what I want to do. I
And
might look at them, give them a high five, something like walk by, like, hey, proud of you,
yeah,
and that there means the world to them,
yeah,
and why do we have to judge people based on like they're doing what they need to do to better themselves? Will they go home and eat a bag of chips? That's out of my control. But they're there to better themselves, and I'm not gonna judge you on that. I'm gonna give you a high five, tell you I'm proud of you, and
mm,
I'm gonna encourage you to keep going. Now, granted, I haven't been on top of it as much as I should have for myself. You know what I mean? But like, that's who I am. So I hate to preach to be like I wish everybody was like me because I don't wish everybody was like me. But
no, no. I would say I
but
wish everybody was unique and did the thing they enjoy.
even Cam says she hates the gym. Yeah.
Yeah, no one wants to be at the gym. Let's be
Oh,
honest.
absolutely. I don't necessarily want to go, but
No.
like at the end of the day, I know it will benefit me, benefit my mental health, benefit my
Hmm.
physical health. So it's like, why not go? You know what I mean?
There's this is a weird one, and this is a fairly recent one I remember hearing, and it was on. It's a weird like where this one comes from. It comes from prototype tanks and stuff, and
Hmm.
the saying was just because a prototype failed doesn't mean you didn't learn anything. That's the whole point of a prototype. Is to learn what works and what doesn't. The fact it failed as a prototype, like it didn't work, means you've discovered something. So that goes back to such as like let's say this stream I did last week.
Yeah.
Say it didn't work. It's not a failure.
No,
It means it
not at
didn't work, and I'm not going to do it again.
all.
And I just need to
Well,
change the format.
well, yeah, and I would be in here going, "Whoa, why aren't you doing it again?"
Yeah, but
You're gonna go, "Well, this failed. No, don't. Nope, nope.
hmm.
Change what you think failed. Change it and go again. See if you like it."
Hello, Oscar. Um,
Hey, what's up, Oscar? And I know there's two people in the chat specifically that I've talked to about success and failure, um, especially when it comes to streaming or YouTube. I'm like,
hmm.
look, you guys are better than you think you are.
You're worst. I think someone said this last time. You're your own worst critic.
Absolutely. And so I'm the one like, and this is how I genuinely feel. I'll watch their content or whatever, and I'm genuinely like, what do you have to be ashamed of or nervous about or whatever? And I'm like, you're good. Like, and it's not me trying to build them up. I'm being serious. Like,
Hmm.
um, and they know who they are in the chat because I drive them up the wall at this point. But I'm like, no, seriously, keep going. Don't feel down on yourself. If you feel like you've messed up, change it. Do something different next time. You know? And like you were saying with machines, if prototype 1 fails, okay, what caused it to fail? Let's change that and make prototype 2. Do that, prototype 3. You know, and same thing with your streams. I would have been hounding you the second you went, oh, that went bad. It's like, excuse me. No, we're gonna do this again, and I'm gonna jump on again, even though you didn't want me to jump on. You know,
because you swore.
Hey, you dropped it today, so I don't want to go through.
Hey, CJ's in the chat.
CJ, yeah, Cam said, maybe we should leave this for the next copy shop, but if anyone has watched Social Dilemma on Netflix, it'd be an interesting talking point and relates to anxiety in our generation. So if you want to make that a topic for next week,
I shall make a note.
I will see if I can watch it on American Netflix, because American Netflix doesn't have everything UK Netflix does, and that would be interesting to talk about mental health and social anxiety and stuff like that.
Oh dear.
It would be a big rabbit hole, but if you're willing to go down it,
Well, I think we've covered everything apart from politics today.
Well, yeah, look.
I'm not gonna.
After what happened in America the past week, I'm done at this point.
Again, everybody has their own thoughts. You are all entitled to make your own opinions.
Absolutely.
I will not force my opinion or anybody else's opinion on you. That is your opinion. That's why we vote. You vote for your opinion.
Cam said she'll actually join the coffee shop next week and chat if you want to cover that topic.
Yeah, it's the coffee shop. You can talk about what the hell you want.
Okay. She also said I would like to be there for politics too, if you can.
I may have to do a politics special where it's no whole bars, but we'd have to agree on like everybody.
Don't be offended with each other.
Everybody just we don't disagree with each other. We just voice the opinions. We shall see. I don't know if that's something I would do.
And what I like about this group is a lot of our. Again, we're not going to dive into details, but it seems like a lot of our over political views, like over the umbrella of political views, is largely the same. You know what I mean? So we're going to always think something different about little things here and there, and that's fine.
And that's part of being human. You all have that little thing that makes you different. There might be 8 billion of us, but you'll be hard to find 2 identicals.
I always say there's one person in the world that looks exactly like you.
But I think that's a doppelganger thing, isn't it? The odds of finding someone who looks just like you, because there's 8 billion of us, I think it's only odds of like 1 in 12,000 or something like that.
Yeah, you have better odds of winning the lottery.
Yeah, a lottery. Sin's back. So we've just gone past the 2-hour mark.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be it, because I do believe Alex is streaming. I don't know.
No.
Is anybody streaming in the chat? Because I know
currently no. I'll be live in about 30-ish minutes. I'm never on time. So.
I wasn't on time today. Did you miss anything juicy? How do we paraphrase what just happened?
We went on a long tangent of me.
The meaning of life.
Talking about 42 and.
Damn it! You beat me to it. Yes.
I got him. Swore.
Yes, I think we might have to have a counter or something.
Well, she says just Chris tonight.
Are
you trying to call me juicy? Like, come on. I speak my mind, guys, and look. At the end of the day, I'm always gonna be honest with you guys. You know, if whether it gets me in trouble, whether it gets, I don't care. I'd rather be honest with you guys. But I will always, I'll confront you, first, but I'll give you my opinion. You know what I mean?
What day does the election in America happen?
It's the second Tuesday after the first full week, I believe, in November.
So I'm now thinking, do we do a live stream of us chatting about the results? Or is that too dangerous?
I mean, I can, but the American political system is the worst thing in the world. I'm not talking about candidates.
No, I mean, I don't even know what to say to it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying you shouldn't say that. You're entitled to say what you want, mate.
I was talking about how the one person can win popular, one person can win electoral, and electoral is what wins. It's like, what does that make sense in any any fashion? But we can get on that topic when we cover that at a later date.
But Little Welshie makes a very good point. I don't care what you think. No, I do care what you think. That's the wrong way of saying that. I don't care what you're going to vote. The point is, you go and vote.
Yeah.
That is the most important thing.
Get out, show your power, get your mail-in ballots if you can. Get them now before it's too late. If you want to see change, do something about it. Don't just go onto Twitter and make a three-column tweet that makes no sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so it's been 2 hours. I think that's going to be our limit.
Oh, there goes Welshie again.
There goes Welshie.
Well,
sorry, Welshie. Purely because people will watch this back, I'm not going to let that through.
PG chat, Welshie. PG chat.
Valid point, but no, sorry. Yes. Anyway, thank you, Chris, for having. Wait, hang on. Wait,
I was like, thank you, Wolf, for having me.
Oh dear. You know what I forgot to do?
What'd you do?
I was going to say, anybody who joins the chat, you're welcome to live stream your end of the chat.
Oh well.
It's a bit late for that now, isn't it?
Well, I'm already had my own stream to worry about. So.
Anyway, thank you, Sin, for joining us earlier. Thank you, Chris. All the links to all the EQB are in the description. Hopefully I've not missed anybody. This was quite a deep one, I think, this week.
Always.
Maybe next week we'll try and lighten it up a bit. We'll see what happens. I don't know if this is going to become a weekly thing, because this is along the lines of anxiety. This is quite stressful for me to do, even though this is the most chilled thing I try and do.
Look, to give you some advice from somebody that streams every day. The more you do it, the easier it gets. Because I think you and I are alike in a sense of we deal with anxiety, we deal with mental health. We're worried about this, little things. But at the end of the day, once it's over, you're like, oh, that went pretty well. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So, and that's gonna just take time to getting used to. You could ask literally anybody in your chat right now, and they'll tell you the same thing. Your first few, I know you've done streams before, but like, it was so spaced out that it's like, let's see, there's plenty of things you can equate it to. It's like your first time, you're always gonna be nervous. It's like going to a new job. First time, you're nervous.
Oh yeah.
Day 2, you're like, okay, well, this isn't that bad. By the end of the first week, you've been there 5 days or whatever, and you're cool with it. You're comfortable. You're still learning stuff, but you're comfortable. Because you do it once a week, it's gonna take a little longer to get used to, and the anxiety will fade. Every now and then, I still get butterflies, and I've been doing it every day, minus a couple of days for the past 3 months. It'll pass, but you'll still get butterflies every now and then. But at the end of the day, once you get used to it, the nerves in themselves go away, and then you just have to make sure, okay, is this right, this right, this right, and that just takes time to get used to as well.
Well, I think on that note, which is a fairly good note to end on, thank you, Chris, for joining us. I'm going to leave this Discord now and not make a muck up like last time.
Yeah, I'm going to hit end call so they don't hear me chatting again. All right.
Thank you,
later,
Chris.
Guys. Thank you, Wolf, for having me.
No worries. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. It's been a wonderful time. It's been a bit deep, but hey, this is the whole point of this. This is literally us sitting in a coffee shop. Feel free to leave hate comments below, because that's the whole point of this, is to talk about things. If you don't talk about them, then what's the point? So I'm now going to hopefully get my end screen to work better this time, but thank you very much for joining me. I shall see you all next time.